Live. We running. Are we Gunchi? Probably is not how you would say that, but I'm gonna say it that way anyway, cause I can. I hear volume. Well, that's a start. Running. Yep, I hear volume. Volume is good. Volume is good. Da, 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 da. Okay, so hello, folks. Just as a immediate update, there will not be a game tomorrow. Our beloved Coda is going to go win first place in a Smash tournament. He doesn't have a choice. He's skipping game for this. He is going to go win first place in a Smash Brothers tournament, so no pressure there, buddy, if you're watching. Actually, I lied. All the pressure. All the pressure! You better win! Also, I did get that job. So if you guys see me looking extra tired on stream, something like that, please try to bear with me. It's a rotating shift, so I don't have a set schedule. And I could be really tired and really sore, and getting off an hour before the stream starts. Yay! Other than that, I think I've already updated everyone on this. But as another heads up, the Baldur's Gate 3 stream will be starting back up either this coming week or the next week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. So that, well, if I work that day, it doesn't interfere. Other than that, I don't have any other announcements I really need to share. Whoa! We don't want that there. I just want this here so I can see everyone's messages off to this side. Yeah, I think that's all I got. So we're gonna do our usual. Zone, do you have a announcements at all? Yes, no? I can't hear you. You're muted. You have an announcement. Got it. Okay. Thank you. Go ahead. You're on the big
My
screen.
announcement's kind of stupid, but donuts are delicious. There we go. That's my announcement.
Thank you, Zone. Stumblr, do you have any announcements? Alright, you're on the big screen.
My announcement is happy birthday to our lovely DM.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We'll call it a painful birthday for now.
Fair.
Also, you might want to check your camera. You're freezing up. Hey, do you have any announcements? God damn, everyone's got announcements today.
It's just the usual announcement. This little campaign is sponsored by the Riz. There will be an abundance of it.
Yep.
And also, happy birthday. So, you want to say happy birthday too, but since you had to go first?
Okay, you're on the big screen, Zone.
Happy birthday to our wonderful DM.
Thank you guys. I appreciate you. You guys are awesome. On another note, one other thing I almost forgot. Yeah, I'll give you a half of one. I don't know if I can connect it right now.
What is it?
Oh, I'm making a heart so that Stumblr can connect it. Other than that, the only other announcement that would exist is that be sure to go check out Rose Warrior Gaming on both YouTube and Twitch. Give her some love. And when that new Destiny drop comes out, go give Warcloud some love. I will be making sure. That is not a scratching post. Now you can get down. Thank you. That is how the curtain comes down and everyone sees my private life. Yeah, I have one of those, believe it or not. Other than that, I think I am all good on the announcements. And I believe it is time for us to dive back into the origins.
Few seconds, I thought there was not going to be the V sound at that, and I got scared. It's time to die. And I'm cool. I'm just gonna.
Are you just expecting the worst now?
Hold anxiety.
Actually,
I mean,
yes.
do you want me to be? Do you want the honest answer with this, buddy?
So, where we last left off, last session you guys had spoken to King Arthur, gotten your task, gotten a little bit more information, and had made your trek. In the middle of your journey, though, you were jumped. Well, snuck up on by a group of goblins. One of which that reached into Kelin's bag, stole his money, his spell book, and I think something else as well. Can't remember the other bit. But they stole his lunch money and his beloved book.
That was the biggest insult, was the lunch money.
And quickly ran off, or tried to, as the party slowly massacred the rest of their group. And then, to their horror, saw where the camp must have been as it was sent up in flames. Not really flames, but you get the gist. Upon further investigation, no survivors were found, and the same goblin that had taken off with Monster's spellbook and lunch money, dropping the spellbook as they ran because they were a little horrified, came crawling back to the party.
I don't think he caught it.
He didn't.
No, I'm choosing to ignore it while I do the recap.
Oh, here
As you guys, some more investigation. You guys eventually took Tyn in after convincing Percyllo not to tie them up, steal all their money, and found out that it turns out that the goblins of that camp were forced to pay tribute to whatever entity it was that destroyed their camp. Soon you guys eventually had sent out word to King Arthur and Merlin to let them know that you were bringing back a goblin girl who you guys met as Tyn, a wonderful chef who had protein rations that were phenomenal. And began making your way back to the capital, assured that you had enough information pertaining to the event. We will jump to the next, we'll jump a couple of days. You guys are kind of walking down the road, riding down the road. Whose horse is Tyn riding on? Okay, don't
Mavakris.
all. There's no fighting over it. I'm surprised after the discussions and how much this beloved goblin was.
We'd already
here's the thing.
established because she was on the horse with her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I understand. It's my first time riding a horse too. You're doing great though."
Well,
Kelin
here's
and
the thing. It's
Percyllo
either
also
gonna
both have-
be...
Tails.
Well, yeah, but also that can hang off. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: it's either going to be Percyllo, who she's taken a liking to, or
Ironically,
Mavakri, who
it's also
is
small.
overprotective. And then there's Kelin in the background that just kind of wants to stay out of the sight.
You guys are kind of at a slow walk at the moment, giving the horses a little bit of a break. Tyn definitely is not used to the horse, even after a few days of riding. It's kind of got that panicked look in her eyes. She's looking off the horse every time it takes a step. And a couple of times, Mavakri had to remind her not to pull the horse's mane out, as she is gripping for dear life.
Probably. I feel like just an extra security at some point, because likely Tyn almost fell off. There's probably like a small bit of rope just around both of them to ensure she doesn't disappear. She's so small.
I still don't understand how you guys can ride these things. This is horrifying.
It is a little discomforting, I'll admit. I've seemed to have lost feeling in my extremities a day and a half ago.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Is the beast killing us?
No.
From what I've
No.
read, they don't do that, but it's not entirely impossible.
You just hear her starting to kind of panic as you say that, like freaking
We
the
should
fuck
be
out.
fine though, because we're behind the face. And I've heard they have very awful, yes.
They're trained. They're not going to hurt you.
Mavakri's losing feelings in her legs. What if she
I
becomes
think it's because we're sitting and it's cutting off blood flow.
It's
And I'm sure it'll
not-
return once we get off the horse, or at least it did last time, so.
It's just not the most comfortable way to sit. That's all.
As she's literally like fucking eagle-legged as she's trying to sit on this massive horse's back.
I feel like at some point, Mavakri probably told her it'd probably be more comfortable if you pulled your legs up.
Well, hold on. The horses are saddled, yes. So
It's still massive compared to her.
she could
Yeah,
ride
like-
side saddle. She could ride side saddle and hang on.
And who is she riding with?
Mavakri.
There's a rope, she could still, like, turn.
Who doesn't know how to ride a horse to begin with? So
That
her
is fair.
current mentor has
She's
no
just
idea
mimicking.
what
Yeah, honestly, that's a fair point, because she's walked everywhere this entire time until this adventure, so it kind of makes sense.
Oh no, I don't think I can feel my legs either. Are they gonna fall? Are they still there?
Like, yes, they're still there. They're not going to fall off. It would take a lot more than sitting on a horse to cut off blood flow to that degree.
Kelin, you're smart. Say something.
Back to hiding behind the horse's face, so you guys are on this end. I'm just like,
He's like leaned into the horse.
yep.
Listen, if I can't see them, they can't see me.
Like the spider on YouTube.
You don't see me, I don't see you.
Oh no, that didn't work. I have to try again. Maybe this will work. Love you,
Now,
Stumblr.
Just do you though? Okay.
Listen, I don't like spiders either. They're better off if they just stay in their corner or just not in the room, period. This one was actually pretty fucking hilarious.
Thank you.
Now, granted, it would not have been hilarious in person. I would have caught it on fire in such a rapid rate. I would have thought I'm myself a wizard. On a computer screen, though, more tolerable.
Okay.
So, Percyllo, your attempts to pawn off your information onto somebody else to give your information to someone else did not work.
Yep. I'm considering something here. Ugh.
I feel like at this point, Mavakri is probably just gonna giving Tyn advice. Like, well, maybe if you moved one leg or this leg, it's still not going to be a very pleasant ride, but you'll have feelings, I'm sure, in your legs. The T-pose is not really working. Just like a ball at this point. I don't know if that's helping either. What if... No, that's not logic going to work, and that'll be just as uncomfortable.
You know that, like, how anime characters get the white eyes when they're just like, full discomfort, not paying attention to their surroundings at this point? Yeah, that's Tyn right now.
Okay, that settles it. Then we're gonna cast command
On who?
on Tyn. Be calm.
One word.
Calm.
Wisdom saving throw?
Correct.
Also, don't mind the rolls there. Nothing to worry about.
Sure.
Just numb to it at this point.
Spell save was a 14.
Yep. So, for 6 seconds, she calms down, and then it immediately ends. She's like, I need help!
I feel like having anxiety the second time around doesn't feel quite as good, does it? We'll make a note of that.
Would you be more comfortable walking with us?
You keep up with horses? I got short legs.
She does have a point. Both her and I are quite vertically challenged compared to the two of you. It would take twice the amount of our strides to reach just one of yours.
More like 4.
Ah, yes, I apologize. You are short. I was mostly referring to us, but yes, also yours. Yours would be twice mine, so 4 times his, 6 times... Yeah, this sounds about right.
Why don't you guys just use a rope and tie it around the saddle to secure her?
She's tied to me, and I'm quite secure. It's not about security in the situation, it's just the discomfort of it, because we don't use these. And neither does she.
This is too big.
I imagine the size difference does not help with the horse. Did they not have smaller horses at the stable?
I mean, we weren't expecting to bring someone back.
But I was here. And
it's
Estell?
you-sized. It's you-sized.
Oh.
They're normal horses.
I'm just picturing we all got the same kind of horse.
Oh no, they're normal horses. They're all normal horses. But the thing is Tyn's like 3 foot. So her legs are spread eagle on the fucking horse to try and sit on it.
She needs a pony.
She doesn't need a pony, she needs a chicken.
The miniature horse. She needs a hey. Oh my god! We need to find a hey now! If this does not become a thing, we need to find a Tyn-sized chicken. And
He
that
said
is
find a
right.
chicken, and my brain went chocobo.
Honestly, I said hey, but that's what I was picturing. It's just
One of us just needs to learn the enlarge and reduce spell, and then reduce the size of a horse.
Or enlarge the size of a chicken.
Or enlarge Tyn.
Oh, that'd be mean. And painful,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
It wouldn't be painful.
She'd go back down to being her original size afterwards. You're taking it away from her.
That'd be real painful.
Yeah, if I'm looking at this correct, enlarge, reduce lasts for 1 minute.
Oh, that'd be...
Oh.
No.
And I don't think...
I don't
Nope,
think
I'm
you
not
guys
gonna say
have
it.
infinite
Never mind.
spell slots to keep casting it over and over and over again until you reach the city.
Imagine expelling every last spell slot we have for this spell.
The problem is that we don't have none of our spells last long enough.
160, 1,320.
What kind of mental gymnastics are you doing over there?
He's trying to figure out how many. it would take.
1,440 spell slots it would require to keep her, you know. And that would be if you traveled 24 hours a day.
Okay.
These talkies are really good. Honestly, it sounds like Percyllo's the only one with any horse knowledge.
He's not, though. Like, he has no vehicle proficiencies.
Yeah, but you've ridden one before.
Where's I forgot her name.
Estelle?
Estelle. Okay, I didn't remember it because the last
Estelle's
time I think I
behind
said,
you guys, just kind of... no, she's about 100 feet in front of you guys, scouting to make sure your fucking path is clear.
I'm assuming on a horse.
Yup.
So at least there's at least two people with horse knowledge now.
Mm-hmm. Except the other one expected you guys to at least know what you're doing on a horse. You've been riding one for almost a week.
I'm trying to figure out if it would even occur to Percyllo to say, like, you know, tie yourself to Mavakri, sit side saddle.
Yeah, see, Mavakri's only rode for this 1 week. It's not like she's got a book or anything on how to ride and other
Probably
ways
does
to
at her
ride.
monastery, just not here.
Yep.
Well, if she was at the monastery, then she would have read it. But I don't think they have something like that.
Is my camera going blurry?
A little bit.
Just say no.
That's more or less what I was trying to do. That isn't any better.
Nope.
So does anyone say anything, or does Tyn suffer the entire ride until night?
I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like, I mean, maybe they'll figure it out at some point because this whole time Mavakri is just kind of directing, you know, like in different positions. So I feel like after like a couple minutes of this, or however long they
Hold
come to the
on.
conclusion, just turn.
Percy seems to want to say something.
You're already tied to Mavakri, yes? So what if you turn? Put both legs on the same side of the horse?
Wouldn't I fall off?
You're tied
No,
to,
the
you're tied
ropes
to
secure
Mavakri.
you.
Oh,
And you can
speaking
hold
of
on if you
which,
need to.
Mavakri, just for shits and giggles, make me a survival check for knots.
Oh, check. Oh.
Oh, rip.
And I'm not
Hold
going
on.
to tell you how good it is until, you know, it comes into play.
Let's hope this is a good roll for the first roll of the day, boys.
Come on, get in that 20.
It's a 13.
So,
Got it.
while moving, she's going to, you know, attempt. You know, move her legs over to the side.
Mavakri will kind of try to help her the best she can.
Okay. After some help, for sure, and quite a bit of effort, because she literally doesn't even know she has legs anymore. That's how much feeling's gone.
Like Mavakri was like just like horse on one hand, like slowly helping her move her legs. Switch hand, help her move
Yeah,
it.
her legs are basically dead weight at this point. You're moving her legs for her, basically, and she's keeping herself on the horse and basically holding on for dear life.
Yeah.
kind of flip her legs over and she's just kind of bouncing there. I don't feel like I'm gonna tear it in half.
Hold the saddle with one hand, hold Mavakri with the other.
As she has the horn of the saddle fucking white-knuckled. The other one's holding the rope, white-knuckled.
So we're not going at like a fast pace, right?
No, you guys are just walking at the moment. It's
Okay,
still a challenge to switch that kind of stuff that when you don't know.
Alright,
how.
well, I was just asking because Mavakri will probably like just hold the horse with one hand and then have another arm kind of as a security measure.
I've ridden a horse. You can do that. Fine, well, walking.
Yeah,
It'd only be a problem if you got ambushed. By the way, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
please.
I have my spellbook now. Let's see them try.
But you guys continue riding. Notice the sun's kind of starting to set. As night's drawing closer, you can hear the galloping of Estell running back to you guys. And found a camp up ahead. We should probably get there quickly before night falls.
Perfect.
Also, was that you guys yelling about 4 hours ago?
Ken was uncomfortable.
You're inviting an ambush.
We are open to suggestions.
Get used to it. As she turns and starts leading the way. And she'll call over her shoulder. Unless you'd rather walk.
I just write down that suggestion. Just get used to it.
Or walk.
Why is she so mean?
Maybe she's not used to riding horses either. It can make someone quite moody. I've noticed.
I think she's more just used to being self-sufficient.
You holding her back?
Yes and no. She can go faster without us, but the
That
whole
would have
point of this
defeated the
is to
whole
get
purpose.
the whole point of this is to get you to the city so that we can help people.
Doesn't like me, does she?
I'm not sure she likes anyone.
I think it's just a mild irritation due to a miscalculation of potential outcomes when we started this.
She also might not know how to show that she likes someone. Some people are just like that, kind of cold. They don't mean to be rude, it just comes off that way.
Like you did when you tried to take my stuff.
To be fair, you started that.
There. Sorry.
Fired!
Sorry, too.
You're forgiven.
How are you?
He's over there melting.
I just love how the one was like, listen, I needed to steal to survive. The other one, I just wanted to steal from you.
When they couldn't fulfill the job, they literally got fired.
No, it's less I wanted the steal and more of turnabout's fair play.
Listen, you just lost your entire family, and I understand you're under pressure, which is why you stole this stuff, but quid pro quo, this is my God damn! That was literally the equivalent of, listen, I know you're going through a traumatic experience, but who hired you? The exact same energy! It's just so much worse!
I know you were just traumatized, Evelyn, but who hired you?
Then you go with this massive PTSD and just configuring your brain on if it's gonna brain or not, but who hired you? Oh my
Look,
God.
if it makes you feel any better, I have a glass of water here. I'm kind of avoiding it just to keep up the Percyllo thirst. Took you a second, didn't it?
So remember that list that you got the other time? You might need that.
Did you slay the dragon? Yeah, I laid the dragon. Slayed. Slayed.
Oh, I slayed all right.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
With my mighty sword.
His blood was really raging that night.
Woo!
To be fair, Percyllo doesn't fight with a sword, he fights with a staff.
You guys make it to the camp where Estell has set up your tents, has set up the campfire, and you don't see her anymore. Our horse is tethered. And as soon as you get there, out of just sheer instinct, Tyn reaches down, grabs a rope, gnaws it off, and jumps off the fucking horse. Now, mind you, with, numb legs,
Yeah.
we'll be making one of these at disadvantage. Okay, she stumbles a little bit. She doesn't eat shit, but she stumbles. She's like, ground, sweet grass. She bends down and almost like one of those praying motions, kissing the ground. And also, hello James, welcome in.
Hey, James?
Hi, James. You missed the fun.
Oh, I'm sure if he wants to go back, he can see it.
There'll be more later.
Oh no, there's still. It's still the night is still.
Please don't ever say that like that again, Zone. There'll be more
No.
later.
Well, I mean,
There
he's
will
not
be.
wrong. There will be.
Especially when it comes to Percyllo.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, you know what it means.
Percyllo is an innocent angel.
But
They
for those
would
of us
never.
who don't know,
They would never.
but for those of us who
Woohoo!
don't know what he means, could you be more specific?
Oh, it's alright, our dear vanilla friend. It'll be okay.
I thought I was seltzer at this point.
Hey, you keep going back to vanilla when you say things like that.
Can I at least have a cherry on top?
We'll add
No.
the cherry later. I don't know if you can handle that.
I'm not gonna say it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Anyway, you guys now have a chance to get off the horse. Tyn has now made her way over to the fires, pulling out her couple of things out of her bag, setting them up. See, she pulls out this looks like a mess kit, along with some cook's utensils. And she has this weird pouch. She kind of starts rifling around in it, and pulls out a jar of what looks like herbs. Oh, not this one. Sticks it back in the bag, shuffles around a little more. Hand is definitely deeper than the bag is.
Hey, DM? Permission to start... Since I have a picture of, Percyllo, Mavakri, and Estell.
You don't have Estelle. Estelle's not at camp.
No, but I had I drew a picture of them last time.
Okay.
Can I start drawing a picture of, Tyn?
Oh.
Of Tyn cooking?
Yeah.
Sure, roll a, Do you have what's your tool proficiency you're using?
I'm just using a pen. I don't really have painter's tools or stuff like that, so we agreed that last time it was just
calligraphers.
okay. What's the ability associated with this? Dexterity?
No,
Strength?
it would be charisma.
Okay.
It is art.
I
A
didn't know that.
drawn performance.
Alright. Cool. Well, I'll take it.
I'm guessing Percyllo or Mavakri, tie off the horses so they don't run off on you unless you really just don't want horses anymore.
Yeah.
Percyllo's like, as much as I want to, spite Estell for the comment she made earlier, I don't want to walk all the way back to the castle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mavakri will help tie up the horses and then just kind of grab her stuff. Join Tyn by the fire. Pulls out her pen and paper.
I'd say after about a half hour, 45 minutes, Estell eventually comes back into camp. Looks like she's got 2 rabbits now, along with what looks like a handful of berries.
And what did you find?
Rabbits. Oh, you mean the berries?
Yes.
Takes one off one of the vines, tosses it to you.
Catch it.
I'm gonna say this.
Oh boy.
Make me a strength check.
Ooh.
Otherwise, you may not have a berry.
Yeah, she
Check or strength
whacked it
save?
at you.
No.
Check.
Check.
That's a 10.
Yeah, you don't squish the berry entirely when you catch it.
Okay.
As you catch it, it's maybe about like a half an inch diameter. It's got this pinkish color with these hints of red to it. She just kind of watches you, waiting.
I'll eat it.
You take a bite out of it, and this very sweet, almost like sugar.
Can I do a history check to see if Mavakri recognizes it from a book that she's read?
Nature check.
Nature? Okay. I mean, same thing, but
Mm-hmm.
let's see. 18.
These are what are called razzleberries. I have invented them. There's razzleberry everywhere in the world. I might as well make them a thing in the fantasy world.
Right.
But it tastes like sugar, and there's like this aftertaste of like tart. It's not super strong, but it's okay. The tart's not super strong. The sweet is.
So they're safe berries, though.
Yeah, she did.
There's no adverse side effects. I don't know.
Maybe
She's just curious.
diabetes, but this is a fantasy world. They fix that with a wave of the fucking hand.
Okay.
Those are delicious.
Very hard to find. Normally found in the Elderwood. Lucky to find them out here.
Very lucky.
It's quite strange they're up this far.
No complaints here, though.
You found razzleberries? Just Tyn has turned wide-eyed. Estell kind of looks at her with this look like, oh no.
like probably holding a handful of berries, just like, why are you looking at me like that?
Well, I could make some glazed rabbit. It's really yummy. Well, I know you don't eat meat, but it is really good.
I mean, we don't need to use all of the raspberries for the glaze, yes?
Only about half.
That leaves half for those two.
I'm already eating one of my rations.
Can I see your ration?
Oh no! Don't be disappointed in me, my child. She'll reach into her bag.
What do your rations consist of, Mavakri?
I don't. I don't know why I'm picturing some kind of just not well done, but like a granola bar of sorts. It's got like bits of like dried fruit and like just done
It's
the most basic of dried
it's
fruit.
a very bland oat and dried fruit.
Oh yeah, it is purely
bar.
nutritional. Like,
She
okay,
takes
this is
it.
what'll last.
Oatmeal.
This is what it
She-
holds. Like, it's gonna keep.
She takes
It's
it.
a sawdust brick.
She takes it, snaps off like a corner, takes a bite out of it, is like,
Probably with that same color tongue. No, that's not what I mean.
I'm aware.
I'm aware.
Says Mavakri had a blue stained tongue this whole time. It's just some weird side effect of whatever was she. Nobody even said anything.
But she takes it. She's like, "Give me your rations."
Okay. Just doesn't reach in the bag. Like,
Takes them, almost confiscating. Like, Estell goes, "Hey, you can have the berries. I was bringing them back for everyone to eat." As she reaches up, snatches them out of her hand, puts them on one of the plates from the mess kit, and then takes the rabbits, and you just watch as she grabs what looks to be a hunting knife and shink, shink. Almost as expertly as you guys saw Estell the other night.
Not too surprising.
And then you watch as she kind of starts with her bare hands mashing up the berries. And you watch as she pulls out this herb out of her haversack. Kind of sprinkles it very gently into the berries. Takes a fork, or whatever the equivalent is, and starts mashing it into the berry mix. Starts rubbing it over the freshly cleaned rabbit. It's a very long process. And then you watch her take the rest of the berry mix and start hydrating these bricks.
well, hopefully not all of them, because they need to last.
Oh, they'll last.
They'll just have flavor.
Your sawdust has become more than just sawdust. It's become
What?
trail mix.
Why do I feel like eating one of those is going to require a roll for diabetes?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's very
Medicine check.
It's a very modest. As she starts to take what's left of the berry paste and pulls out this little jar and starts scooping the rest into it. There's still like a half a jar worth of this paste. Kind of screws on the top. Kind of pulls out this like almost just like this sharp metal point. Starts carving something into the top of it. Unless you understand Goblin, you cannot read it. As all of her ingredients are written in Goblin. I know somebody knows Goblin.
No?
Man, I swore one of you guys knew Goblin.
Nope.
I stand corrected.
That still might, but we don't.
Estell does not know that. But she'll open this a side pouch in the haversack, puts it in there. This one you actually see takes solid form in the side pouch. But she then will take out her pan and kind of put it over the fire just so that it's, atop of it with this little grate underneath, and starts frying the rabbit in it. And then finishes flavoring your bricks. And yours take a lot less time than the whatchamacallits, the rabbit, yeah, by a long shot. So that should not be a disadvantage. Oh my god.
How burnt is it?
The rabbit. Oh, she will use that ability. Okay. That's a lot better. As she hands your bricks back.
Mhm.
For a second, you see her hand slip and almost drops one of them into the grass.
Oh no.
Finishes and hands them back to you. Well, they shouldn't taste like sawdust.
Will this decrease their preservation timeline, or
No.
what all did you put on it? Is it just the raspberries, or didn't she'll like start asking her the questions of like how
Taste it.
she like better, and then she'll take a bite.
Take a bite. There's definitely flavor now. Nice, sweet, not like spicy as in hot, but spiced flavor behind it. Sweet, bitter, sweet, and the tartness mixed with that just herby flavor to it. Definitely different than what you had before, and you realize like, wow, this is a lot better than what I had before. And as you're asking your question, she goes, "Chef never shares her secrets." And then she'll go back to the rabbit. Which is... oh, wow. Okay. Those of you who are eating meat tonight, your mouths start to drool. Even those of you who do not eat meat. Smell is easy.
Oh, yeah, she'll give her credit where credit's due, and like probably make a comment about how it does smell quite nice.
And once she's finished cooking it, she'll take out what looks to be this greenish yellow paste, cuts open the center of the rabbit fillets, stuffs it in. Pulls out a couple, it looks like leaves of parsley, puts it on top of the rabbits, and then puts them on plates. And goes, "Here."
Thank you, Tim.
Walks right up to Kelin.
Yeah, just has his book in his face for a second there, and just like kind of reaches around, you know, just
You
takes
almost
it
knock
kinda
it out of her hand. And you're like, "Ah!"
like,
Might want to put the book down for a minute.
The food smells probably too good for him to actually
With
resist
a nat
not
20
putting the book-
cooks
Yeah.
utensils.
Yeah. Yeah, he just he just closes it and it's just like,
Percyllo, you take your first bite. You get that, like, gamey flavor off of the rabbit. Real, but also at the same time, juicy still. It's cooked all the way through. But it's the center that just throws you for this amazing loop. This creamy filling. With this interesting, slightly lumpy texture.
Man, this is great.
Oh, it's a simple dish. It's not that great.
Compared to what I'm used to? No, this is amazing. What is the filling that you used in this?
It's some of the, use a little grease from the pigs we used to butcher, cook, And we put some really fine, fibers from potatoes that we could mash up.
Potato and grease. Go figure.
Tastes better than it sounds.
It definitely does.
She's just. She'll sit down with her own. At first, you see this nice, refined goblin who enjoys eating food, all this other stuff, and then she grabs the chicken with both, or the rabbit with both hands, and she just starts tearing into this fucking thing.
Oh, why am I having trouble remembering the name? There we go. You know, if your cooking is this good all the time, there might be something to King Arthur saying that the barbarish need to be treated better.
Just like, fucking got this green paste and rabbit grease across her fucking face at the moment. She's just like,
Man, hit her with the political riz.
slows down a little bit, starts taking more dignified bites. Still doesn't use utensils.
Mm.
We're not all bad. Just want to live.
Well, there's definitely some inns in the city that could learn from your cooking.
I bet the city has amazing food.
Some of it's great, yeah. Some of it's, it's a filling meal.
A filling meal sometimes what you need.
I mean, yes. But I'd like to think my performances are a little bit better than that.
You perform?
Yeah. I mean, got my loot with me.
It's a loot.
Played it. I'll set the plate down and take out an instrument.
I can confirm, Tyn, he is quite skilled in his profession.
My job.
Oh. Okay.
I'm a performer, an entertainer.
Yeah, don't fuck this up, Percyllo. Go ahead and make a performance check if you start playing. Everyone's hyped you up
Come
now.
on, that nat 20.
20!
Yes! Yes!
Yeah! The Riz is real!
Oh, shit!
Who would have thought
This episode is sponsored by The Riz!
Who would have thought the giant dragon folk would be rizzing a fucking goblin who is a quarter of their size?
No
be fair-
discrimination.
Well, yes, that. But also the fact that that's just how he is with everyone. He's either very nice to you or ice cold. Not a lot of middle ground.
You're either an acquaintance or a paycheck. There's no between.
Right?
He doesn't know what family is.
I mean, he already tried to steal from her. This is just another way to do that. Like, if you pay me.
Okay.
Yet. I mean, I could try and harm Tyn, and we'll see how much you appreciate that. I win.
Moving along.
Anyway,
So what are you thinking of playing? It's a nat 20. You might as well go into the like. You might as well go into like description
Stumblr?
of what you're.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you a link.
Okay.
There you go. Find us a song. What you playing?
Oh yeah, you're a bard. You should sing.
I will be
Good.
nice and I don't. He's already said he doesn't want to sing. Has that changed?
It depends on the day.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna send you this. So if you don't
Never
want to sing, you can pick from this list.
Oh.
Here you go, buddy. There's 173 songs to choose from.
Once.
Just see if there's one you like.
Just throw a number out there, buddy.
Just shop around a little bit. You'll find one.
Roll a dice or two.
We're gonna go ahead and just pin that for later. Oh god, that's a YouTube link.
It is. Which means that I want you to tell me which number you pick so I can put it in the chat.
Oh, they don't use chapter markers or anything.
No, it's a playlist.
Oh, hello.
It's a playlist of 173 covers.
You did not link me to a playlist, you linked me to a specific song.
Well, in that case, let me fix that.
Ah.
Let's go here. Try that.
Oh, there we go.
Now we're cooking with gas.
And while we are waiting for him to pick a song, why don't we take a quick 5-10 minute break? Because there's 100 and fucking some odd songs for him to pick from. And if there's one thing I know about Stumblr, he's
Gotta
a
find
little
the right one.
indecisive. Anyway, we'll be right back,
Damn.
folks.
Damn.
I know most of these at least.
Throwing him under the bus like that.
Oh. Is this the one I think it is? I haven't heard that song in a while. 31.
I forgot that.
Hello,
happened
folks. We are back.
I don't know what happened earlier.
Holy shit! Hi. Hello, folks. We are back. As Percyllo was about to play a little ditty, and I am doing this for all of you, even though YouTube is gonna hate me. And as you guys are sitting around the fire, Tyn waiting very patiently but excitedly at the same time, not knowing what this is. You guys watch as Percyllo starts to play and multiple instruments start playing in the air.
Do you know the song or something, Kay? You might.
I know this song.
Yeah.
We just got memed on.
No, it's not a Rickroll.
No, I'm not saying it's a Rickroll.
It's not even a meme. It's just a good song, the original.
And as you're kind of playing, you see this light in Tyn's eyes as you're playing, this little sparkle. She's almost enthralled by the music. I'm gonna say, because you nat 20'd, I'm gonna have everybody make a wisdom save not to start, kind of like doing like a little nod or jig. Yes, including you, buddy.
Oh, Mavakri. Oh, honey.
Oh yeah.
15.
Like no bot. She multitasking. She can appreciate music while she
What's
writes.
your spell save DC?
14.
Okay, so Kelin can resist if he so chooses.
There'll be a little bit of a tail wiggle every now and again, but that's about it.
He's heard it all before.
He's heard it several times before.
And one other person. You know what?
It's gonna drive me up the wall. I know this song.
You know what?
What?
Where's that D20?
Oh, jeez.
From the cursed dice.
They're not cursed though.
Ironically.
It's bullshit. Need my money back.
DC
Start using my
18,
dice.
fucking 18 with her modifier.
I'm getting a refund.
I haven't rolled bad with that D20 at all.
I'm getting a fucking refund.
It
Glad
never
to.
said who it was cursing. Estell watch, she's not enthralled. But Tyn is... As soon as you stop playing the music, Tyn just... I'm not gonna burst everyone's eardrums with clapping through the mic, but she vigorously starts clapping. What are you...
Lots of practice.
That was pretty.
And now you know how I feel about your cooking.
What? It's not that great.
It kind of is.
We got more blushing going on. Also, yeah, she had a 6 on hers. There you go. There's a bad roll from the curse die.
It's finally working.
It's
Fucking
working,
nat
right?
20 first fucking roll. It's like refund. Give it back. I have complaints.
Like I said, we need to send
Eat
him
on the
blessed
second
dice
one.
next.
Please you.
Every
Why is it
roll is
just
just a plus
one?
1d4.
That's just kind of chilling.
The innovation you be.
We are not sponsored by this. I need to mute that. I keep forgetting YouTube's not muted. Yes, I will probably use the thing that you sent me, Stumblr. Not gonna waste stream time doing that.
Fair enough.
But, as soon as you guys kind of finish, you know, your little antics, music, and food, Tin immediately will grab the dishes, starts washing them. Estell just kind of goes back, finds a tree, climbs up. As soon as Tin finishes washing dishes that you notice her almost just kind of sit by the fire. At this point, it's evening. Sun is set. Can't help but notice every now and again Tin's eyes flicker to anxiously. Every snap of a twig makes her jump very, very slow.
Kitty.
That is a desk where you don't belong. No. Nights.
It is. Why don't you head to bed? I'll take first watch.
It's fine. I'll be fine.
Kelin, Mavakri.
Would you like to take first shift or second?
I'll take first.
Kellen's gonna go up to Percyllo and he's just gonna like just gesture for him to hold on to his spell book so when he goes to sleep it doesn't get taken.
Oh. Out of character, just aww.
Oh, you're right. Like, oh, just slap her in the face next time. It hurt less.
Damn. Percyllo will take it and put it in his lap and take his lute and just kind of gently strum. Just a much more calm melody than before.
Mavakri will kind of, I guess, probably maybe rest against a tree nearby and just kind of do like brief meditative state that she does before going to sleep.
Okay. Assuming Kelin lays down and passes out pretty quickly.
Yeah. I'm gonna just say he's probably a heavy sleeper, so.
That's still up in the tree as well. Which I'm assuming you already figured.
Yeah.
As the first shift continued onwards, notice Tin's eyes would kind of start to flutter slightly, and then there'd be a snap of a twig, and she'd jump again. Looks around, notices you're still awake, and immediately steals herself.
Tin, you're welcome to use the tent.
Just I'm not scared. Fine.
You're nodding off.
Not nodding off.
Gotta make a perception.
That's a 17.
As you're kind of looking at her, you notice her entire body almost seems to quiver. Every little unknown noise.
Tyn, what's wrong?
Every. Sorry. It's nighttime. Just little. A lot of energy. No, not very sleepy at the moment.
Insight?
Yup.
That's a 26.
Compared to her 8, she seems
Oof.
horrified. Scared. And you're kind of piecing together as she keeps glancing to the sky. Keeps looking towards the woods. She has her pack clutched in her arms, looking like she's ready to bolt at any given moment as she's trying to stay awake.
Tyn, what are you scared of? Is it the dragon? You know, if you were to rest in the tent, the dragon can't see you.
Not 5.
I know.
Knows what a structure is.
True. But it also doesn't necessarily know that you're with us, and it'll see me out here keeping watch, rather than you out here shaking.
Also, couldn't see underground. The owl kept our gun. Found.
Did the dragon do something? You did.
Very quiet.
You don't have to tell me if you don't want to, Tim.
Another insight.
Nat 20.
Looking at her from a second ago, she almost stops shaking. But where you thought she was listening, you see her just very far off. It's just horrified.
What did the dragon do to your kids? Did they take them? Worse? I'm sorry, Tim. Well,
Every. Scared.
well, it's screwed up. Because you're still here. And that means we have a chance to defeat it. You don't have to fight it. You got something better. You have information.
To do what I have it. I'm not you.
I don't plan to betray you or rat you out to anyone if that's what you're thinking.
There's a no way. Leave to do something stupid.
I've already done my leaving. What, when you stop being able to cook? By that point, you'll be an old woman.
Watch her kind of lay down on her side next to the fire. The fire flickering. Seeing them in her eyes, isn't warm and welcoming. Fire, you see, deadly.
Tyn, people are more than just how useful they are.
Said
And what happened to the orc?
them left. The elderly couldn't
Why did they leave?
find something better.
Given how
Find
the
something we weren't at.
Given how the kingdom treats the barbarish, I can understand that. Well,
We didn't start as barbarish.
then what's your name for it?
People of the land.
Well, maybe we can change that when they find out a goblin is the one who helped save the kingdom. I think it's worth a chance.
Make another perception.
16.
Just barely hear as she kind of turns over. or long. Or breathing kind of steady. As you kind of stay on watch, every now and again you can has these fits and whimpers. Your watch goes by, uneventful.
Okay.
Estell kind of hop down from the tree at the end and pats you on the shoulder. Rest
Yeah. You too.
with the other two.
Thank you.
Or into the.
Okay. Will do. I'll try and gently pick her up.
No harm.
Mhm.
I mean, as you pick her up, she looks like she's maybe 40 pounds at most.
No.
Then Mavakri kind of feel a tap on your shoulder.
I'll wake up, kind of just stretch to get a little more woke up, and then go sit by the fire.
Then she'll kind of go over to Kelin. Looks like he's actually sleeping in real life.
Hey, it's acting.
And gives him
Method acting.
gives him a little shake. Hey, second watch. Sit up so you don't fall back to sleep. Try this. She'll hold out this cup, or like this flask. This
Is it still like nighttime?
Yeah.
Okay.
this warm, bitter liquid hits your tongue. It doesn't taste the greatest, but it'll wake you up. You're drinking coffee.
Oh no. Experience what this is like with another character.
Oh no.
Mavakri will go ahead and pass the dark vision while she's sitting there.
Yeah, remember that
And
is
just-
up for the rest of the night and 8 hours and 4 hours into your daytime.
I assume
No concentration required.
Percyllo did the handoff with Kelin with the spellbook.
Yeah.
Yep.
He'll leave the spellbook by Kelin and then head to the tent. Well, leave the spellbook by Kelin, then get Tyn, then head to the tent.
Yeah, so while Estell was
Fantastic.
waking Mavakri, then went to Kelin, then climbed back up her tree.
I just crawl out. Sit next to the fire.
Leaving 2 players in chat. I can.
Mavakri will probably look at Kelly when he sits down. So, did you ever finish the drawing that you were working on the night before? Well, earlier this night, I suppose.
Yeah, I did. And he'll kind of just like pass the notebook along to her, or his spellbook, because I like to think that it's a congregation of everything that, all of his experiences. It's kind of like his journal of.
So I have a question. Is Mavakri more respectful or more nosy?
She's respectful.
Okay.
She'll look at the drawing and she'll kind of point out, like, I like how you shaded right here. It was actually an interesting technique. I don't think we've seen that before. And her eyes are kind of glowing as she's like kind of taking in. There's like little things about it that are maybe a little different than what she's seen before.
That was when I accidentally dropped the book earlier.
Well, it actually worked in your favor. You turned what could have been a mistake into some true potential.
Thanks.
Honestly, if you hadn't pointed it out, I would have known the mistake at all. But that could also be because I'm not very well knowledged in art.
Callan's not used to compliments, so his cheeks just go like.
Like, give me back my coverage.
And kind of just like tries to like hide behind his coat or something. Actually, no. How long are tails? Because he might be able to use that. No? Okay.
Like, no, thank you.
Gotcha. Thank you.
And she'll give the book back.
Sweet Mother of Jesus, my cover. So, why did you decide to leave your monastery?
I read all the books we had. I had talked to, I think, everyone besides the newest generation. And we decided to look elsewhere for knowledge.
Are you talking about you and your spirit, or?
Yes. A quarry.
Huh. And so Kelin finds this interesting, so he's going to be writing this down. Yeah. And what's it like to have two people in one?
Well, they're not technically part of me entirely. That hasn't happened for quite a many generations. Though I am getting better and I'm getting closer. That's why I have this. And she'll pull up, like, the bag that she had.
I don't quite understand.
Well, it's actually why I was in town to begin with. Merlin gave this to one of my prior generations. Those with the strongest connection to Kree obtained the bag.
And what's Kree?
A quarry.
Oh, it's another word for quarry. Kree.
No, that's his name. Their name.
Oh,
Or what they prefer, anyways.
your quarry's name is Kree. Okay. And you don't ever have disputes?
No, the communication isn't quite like that.
Then what would you say it's like?
Feelings? Thoughts, perhaps?
Interesting.
More like shared memories.
And when do these experiences or thoughts affect? Actually, I guess I should ask, how do they affect you?
They don't entirely affect me at all. I'm still my own person to an extent.
But they haven't shaped you at all?
Oh, sure they have. They're one of my best advisors. But they also know their limitations, which is why I'm on this journey.
Oh.
Out of curiosity, would you be able to teach me one of the spells in your book?
I don't know if I can teach, but I can maybe try to teach the theory behind it.
If you'd love to copy down one of them, I'd be very appreciative of it.
Which one did
We could
you
read it in our spare time. Anyone in particular.
Something, I guess that maybe might be useful for you. And I'll start writing down the spell for illusionary script. And it's this one right here.
Just to be sure that is different from minor illusion.
Yes, it's more
Okay.
word-based, so... I thought this would suit Mavakri because of her monk background, or her
Okay.
monastery background, a little bit better.
Mavakri?
Yep.
If you're trying to copy this down and learn it, I would like you to roll me just a flat d20.
A flat d20. Alright. Come on, dice gods. Give me the nat 20 this time. The 7. Fuck you, dice gods. We're not friends anymore.
You're looking over the information in Helen's book. And the
Wait,
formula...
would it be an advantage since it's not just me studying it?
No. This is not something you can get help on. This is your innate ability to understand arcane formulas, how they're used. And formulas are super complicated. Just not something you've ever practiced. You've seen it in books before at the monastery, but it was never something you really picked up on.
Yeah.
You think possibly with further study?
Yeah, she'll probably
maybe.
look at it like, oh, I do appreciate this. Though I'm not quite sure I understand. I may have to look those up. But I'll study this in the meantime. Thank you, Kelin. We appreciate it.
No problem. How many days has it been? And you mentioned that my familiar would get there within 3?
Roughly, if everything goes as planned.
Gotcha. And I assume I'm out of the range of my familiar to look through its eyes? Yeah, I'm making sure about that. I'm making sure.
Oh, yeah.
Then, if I have my book back, since my familiar is also part of the team, I'm going to draw my owl.
Roll
Blueberfur?
me a D1.
D100. Okay. 63.
You draw your owl. And it reappears on your shoulder.
Oh!
And it appears that the note that you had sent tied to his leg is no longer there.
Scared me.
I'm aware that was on purpose and by design. I can't scare Kay because she won't go well. Also, nice recovery there, Stumblr.
From what?
Preventing that contagious action from
Mm.
showing. I just saw the...
I've only been up since like 2:30 this morning.
I'm proud of you. You got this.
Well, seeing as my familiar is here, I'm going to just draw him.
This is Kellen's way of saying we're done talking. Very rudely, mind you.
He has his hobbies, and she's studying her own stuff.
Yeah, she's probably like, she's got like kind of like one ear, kind of just listening, glances up from the page every so often as she continues to study it.
Oh, right. Make the Calligraph first tools. Ooh, that's an 18 to draw my owl.
You've had a lot of practice drawing your owl.
Do I get to roll another d20 to see if I've learned any further? Fucking bullshit.
You don't just get to keep rolling until you succeed.
Yes, I can.
Nope.
You just say no.
Then
it's not that I
once
can't.
Per day you can.
Let me.
Exactly. No, it's not
So when
once
it becomes
per day.
daylight.
Once per week.
Eventually, the sun starts to peak above the horizon. I start to awaken.
Quick question. So wizard spells, you select one like once per long rest, like, right? Like you can rearrange them. So if I were to like rearrange Find Familiar so that it's not being ritual casted anymore, my familiar would still be there, right?
It would be.
Okay, just making sure.
Kelin, where did you go to sleep? There is only one tent. Because nobody else bought a tent.
I was on the last night watch, wasn't I? Yeah, so I guess I would have gone to sleep inside the tent and then gotten out when I was woken up. So
where Percy put Tyn to sleep. Or rest the rest of the night. Percy never told us where he went to sleep.
He'd probably sleep outside the tent.
Those of you on watch hear as like the birds start chirping this from the tent, like panic noise, heavy breathing for a minute, silence. Soon after, Estell and Percy wake up. Now, if you want to be on, it would make sense.
It's not on command, sorry.
Mm.
And
Good morning.
Estell looked down at you. Kelin kind of just holds out her hand.
I canter back the coffee.
Takes her flask back. Closes it up. Who understands Elvish?
Nope.
Oh.
I
Yes.
do.
You hear her just say the word coffee in Elvish. And then you guys promptly hear of what sounds like liquid being poured into a metal flask. She'll open it up and you watch the steam rise out of it. Is the goblin ready?
I'll check on her. I'll slowly, gently push the flap of the tent aside. Good morning, Tyn. How'd you sleep?
Kind of reaches into her bag, pulls out one of her protein rations. Starts nibbling on it quietly to herself.
When you're ready to go, we'll be waiting out here.
Also, you're realizing Tin has the worst bedhead of anyone you've ever seen. Hair's just in all directions.
Alright, well, take a moment. We'll wait out here for you.
Cool. As soon as the flap closes, starts straightening out her hair. You can hear the sound of fucking fingers through hair as she's trying to fucking not have a rat's nest on her head. Any morning rituals from anyone else?
Since they're waiting, like while they're in the process of waiting for Tin to get ready, I think Mavakri will just kind of pass that moment with just like some brief meditation for the day.
Are there any streams nearby?
That is a good question.
We don't know because we can't see the map. Oh, there we go.
Oh my god, it's a map.
You guys had made it to Lavammer. You guys have been following the river back to Pelias.
Alright, then I guess Kelin would clean off his face, do the morning rituals that normally people would do on their own.
And then do the hour-long ritual that not everybody does when they wake up. Of spell preparation.
Yep.
Because it sounded like you wanted to change what spells you had prepared.
It's just one, so not that long.
It'll take an hour.
Yep.
I will say Mavakri will focus her meditation on the voice that she heard. To kind of see, like, just feel out that connection and whatnot.
Make a wisdom check.
Nope. 17.
You get a sense of calm. But curiosity.
Okay, so it's just still feeling based.
It is for now.
Okay.
You feel like what you heard was a very rare thing.
Yeah. Basically, just kind of, when she's doing this, she's kind of, I guess, checking that metaphysical connection on if it has maybe strengthened a fraction or if it's still just kind of
I will say
baseline.
17 is a good check. Not quite what you need to get that in depth.
Okay, so as far as she kind of feels, it's still the same strength that it has been for probably a few months now.
If there is any changes, it's so minute you don't notice it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Percy will take a moment and check the tune on his lute. Probably about the time, Kellen's heading back from the stream, he'll head over there.
Okay. I'll say maybe 30 minutes into your guys' morning rituals, Tin kind of comes out. And she is wearing armor.
Oh?
No, I'm just fucking with you. Her hair's straight, though.
In the day, isn't the best armor of all the floofy hair that won't sit?
No, that kind of gives you away.
No, but it's a built-in helm that'll cushion the blow.
Yeah, sure. Tell that to a sharp sword.
Hmm.
See if it'll listen to that reasoning.
I don't know. I mean, it might work. If that sharp sword happens to be a cell sword, maybe.
Hey, you dropped something.
Thanks.
Glad to help.
DM, I don't know if you're aware of this, but you did, in fact, drop something.
Eat the talkie.
No.
Sure, I've never had one.
We'll address that later.
Like next March.
Still later. Anyway. Guys, eventually hop back up on the horses. I'm gonna roll a d6.
Oh boy.
Oh. Percy, you wind up with 10 today.
Okay.
The next few days go by pretty quick. Estell scouting out for you guys up front. You guys trying to, coax Tyn into realizing, yeah, it's okay, you'll feel your legs again. You've experienced this multiple times now. She's still not a fan. Eventually, the 7th morning comes around. You guys are been traveling for a couple of hours. All of you can make perception checks.
You know what? I'm going to be using my real life dice for this one.
Take that 17.
Which one?
Perception, 14.
13.
Alright. Man, these cursed dice love me. Tyn is the first one to notice the city. Ironically. Percy, who's way taller than her. You hear,
What's that?
What's what?
before long, Percy, it comes into view. You see the tower where Merlin's chambers are.
Tyn, are you talking about Merlin's tower?
Merlin. Who's Merlin?
Arthur's High Wizard. He's the one that sent us to figure out what was going on.
He sent you to
Not to you. The dragon was causing problems. He sent us to figure out what it was.
Oh. Are they nice?
Yes.
Sure.
Well, he was nice to us. And Kelin sent word ahead.
Kelin, now that you're thinking about it, you're really hoping that you didn't move your bird back before they tied a message to your bird to send back.
Maybe we should stop before we get into the city?
I mean, we need to take a moment to get the mask on Tyn
Hmm.
and make sure she's well disguised.
Let me see about sending my bird over to Merlin's tower real quick.
You do that, I'll help Tyn get ready.
I'll just write a quick little letter about bird and experience. Well, basically just telling him that we're outside the city looking for clearance.
Okay. As you're doing that, you hand the mask off to a mask meant for you to Percy. Percy hands you this mask. And you look at it for a second before you realize there's no way in. This mask is the size of her fucking head.
Supposed to go over my entire face?
I'm afraid not. Or at least
It's a
not
bit-
in that sense.
It's a bit much.
Just draw more attention.
Does Tyn's outfit have a hood on it?
Oh, she's wearing rags.
Ah,
She doesn't barely have any clothing. Except for a shirt, some pants. Both of those are kind of tattered because she escaped a dragon attack,
right.
of which she was extremely burned when you found her.
Yeah.
Would I be able to use the spell Minor Illusion on
Post it for me.
her face? Like creating maybe a mask that would fit her face more?
As you're kind of thinking of this, you're watching her as she starts tying the band that she was talking about before around her head and ears. Yeah, it could. It just cannot create sound, light, smell, or any other sensory effect. Any physical interaction with the image reveals it to be an illusion, because things can pass through it. A creature uses its action to examine the sound or image. The creature can determine that it is an illusion with a successful intelligence investigation check against your spell safety. In other words, if you do this, y'all have to be very careful not to touch where that mask is.
Okay. She'll probably look to Percy. It's like, I do have a spell that we could possibly use to create one. We just have to be very careful. She'll kind of look at Tyn like, you won't be able to touch your face with it, or it will break the illusion. Are you okay with that?
As she is kind of rubbing her eyes awake and is just like...
Like, well, she...
I can try. If you guys really think this is a good idea.
I think it's worth a chance.
This you see Estell coming back on her horse. She definitely left the 100-foot range as soon as the city came in view.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you stopped?
Tyn was nervous, and Kellen's mask is too big for her.
I could have told you that.
We're going to create an illusion. Don't touch Tyn's head.
I don't intend to.
Alright. Well then. Mavakri, did you want to do the honors?
Ah, yes. And then,
You get to decide what the mask looks like.
um,
Is it a full face mask? Does it just cover the nose and mouth?
she'll probably ask Ten which she would prefer, like which she would find more comfortable and least likely to.
Can I still touch my eyes if it's not over my eyes? So
As long as you're not
sleepy.
touching the illusion, she'll look to Percy. Do you think her eyes will give her away, or do you think?
I mean, her eyes are no more different than any others like mine or Kellen's.
Okay.
No? No?
No, goblin eyes are very telltale.
Oh. No, we'll need to cover them.
How soon do we need to put up the illusion spell?
Well, the guards are waiting at the gate to escort us. I don't think they are being paid to stare at the grass.
So now, so that we can get to the guards quickly.
Yeah, no. She has, like, these extremely, like, bright, yellowish, goblinoid eyes that gleam.
We may have to wait until we get closer to the city to use it anyways, because unfortunately, I'm not quite skilled in arcane arts. I am knowledged in them, but practicing them I'm still learning a little. So I can only do it for about a minute.
Did even then?
Oh yes, if it gets us into the city and gets you to talk to King Arthur, it is very important. It is
Will
worth
they
it.
see you casting it multiple times?
Not if Mavakri and I take turns.
Estell's just kind of looking between the three of you. What are we doing?
Mavakri, cast the spell now and let's get moving.
Okay.
We need her face covered before they see her.
I might have something that's better. This will last for 10 minutes, and
Okay. Go for it.
Okay, Kelin, tell me what kind of mask you make, because this is up to you now.
well, I was listening to what they were going on about, so probably something similar.
Yeah, but they didn't
look-
tell me what it looked like. Colors.
I need to know a
look.
couple more things. So goblin skin, is it also highly distinguishable?
I mean, her skin is just very pale.
Okay. Teeth.
Yes. Pointy. Sharp.
Then it's going to be a full face mask.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I know she didn't want that, but and probably something that matches her pale skin, so it doesn't look like it's giving off too much of like it doesn't look like it's trying to draw attention to her face.
Okay.
It's just there, and
So are you just making her face, but with different eyes and teeth?
you know,
Okay.
Right.
That's one way to do it.
What do her eyes look like?
uh,
Obviously humanoid, but I didn't know what color.
Let's go with blue.
You guys watch as this image shimmers over her face. You barely realize anything's there until you notice her eyes are now bright blue. And they, not frequently, but almost in intervals, will blink.
Well done.
And you watch her kind of look around for a minute, and then she goes to speak. And you watch a chin protrude from the bottom of the mask of the illusion.
Oh.
It doesn't fade.
Is something wrong?
You're going to have to not speak and keep your mouth closed.
Yes, unfortunately, when you talk, we can see your actual jawline below it.
Realizes that she's still talking, and just you watch as her mouth, the chin just goes.
It's all right, Tyn. All right, let's get moving.
She will reach up with her now gloved hands and grabs Percy's hand almost like a child grabbing their parents.
Oh. We'll give her hand a squeeze and hold on.
Be gentle.
I didn't say a hard squeeze.
Snap!
My child!
Wait, I'll be keeping track of the time interval between 10 minutes, so that if I have to reapply it, I will.
Okay. You guys eventually reach the gate, and you see there's about 20 guards in full plate armor, helmets, short swords, and tower shields on half of them. The other half are dressed in very fine studded leather armor and have crossbows on their backs. Not crossbows, that's right. Rifles on their backs. Flintlock rifles, but nonetheless. Very early age firearms. That
Tear down the illusion.
not a scratching
Speaking
post.
of very early age firearms, the back of a cat.
Right. Anyway.
So, and one of the head guards kind of steps forward. Are you the ones Merlin is awaiting?
Yes, we are.
Then you must dismount. 2 of the men here will take care of your horses. Do not leave the center. And
Very
do
well.
not let the child leave the center either. Under any circumstance.
Understood.
Crystal clear?
Crystal.
You watch as the ranks kind of open up just enough for you guys to make your way.
Percy will dismount and help Tyn down and walk to the middle of the guards.
And for a second you watch as her go to speak, and then you see the chin go back up again.
Give her hand a gentle squeeze again. Just
She-
trying to
she-
reassure.
She's fucking shaking like a leaf.
Aw.
As she hops down, you notice her legs are shaking. Knees almost buckling under her weight.
Change
Isn't
the
very
plans. We're
much.
change the plans. We're gonna carry her.
How do you carry this childlike illusion?
How else does one carry a child?
One arm under the butt, the other one on her back.
Yep.
You look like a real adoptive father now.
Fuck.
My child, I found her in the woods. They sure she is mine.
Gothic, I got a question.
Oh?
How the fuck do I keep doing this?
It's a really good question. How do you keep doing this?
Completely different character. Completely different.
Hi, Corellius 2.0. 3.0.
goddamn. 3.0.
Yes, yeah, we got keyed in between that.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys start making your way into the city. Now, this doesn't mean anything. Just don't do anything stupid, okay?
You can tell if you're talking to your cat or if you're talking to us.
You.
I was gonna say just yes.
As soon as you enter the city, you can clearly tell that somehow information was leaked. The city doesn't feel like it did before. Streets you're walking on almost deserted. But as you're walking, you can see sometimes the blinds will open enough.
Where is everyone?
Is this not typical behavior for your city, Percy?
Where's the people? Where's the activity? The hum of life?
Somehow
appears-
information was leaked. Mob formed by the castle doors yesterday.
Of course it did.
We are taking you
Over one person?
over a barbarish.
Still seems a bit excessive for one person.
Mavakri, people are not always welcoming or accepting.
This is not your monastery.
Well, I'm quite aware, but still. From what I read, usually this kind of reaction required a multitude of people storming a location, not just a person.
And most times, barbarish don't make it past the city gates.
Can I make an inside check? Because he seemed like he got attitude. 7. I don't know shit. I'm still learning.
A helmet, and him walking in unison with the rest of the troop. Really hard.
Yeah. Marker still just like, it does
I
not
will
make any
say,
sense.
One of the archers kind of approaches from behind you, Percy,
Mm-hmm.
without you seeing them. I will say this, Kelin, you can see this. As she smiles takes her leather helmet off, smiles at Tyn. It's alright. We won't let anyone hurt you. No matter what is under her nose.
Can I make
Be
an insight check?
careful.
Sure.
You know what? We're using my real dice this time. That is a 17 plus 4, which makes a 21.
Okay. Lady seems like she's being genuine. And she'll say, there truly is no need for the illusion, to be honest. People have already been ordered hands off.
Ordered or not, it makes her more comfortable.
Your sweet little adoptive daughter is just adorable.
She really is. And talented.
Yes, her cooking is quite amazing.
Well, quite unusual for such a young one. You are noticing the shaking kind of start to steady a little bit. Almost as if she's being kind of put at ease. Still cautious. You can still feel her head like kind of darting around looking at everything. Before long, you turn a corner to head up to the castle. You guys have taken a very different route.
Would this be a route that maybe Kelin would have taken if he was trying to avoid people?
No. This is a kind of route that even Kelin would avoid because normally it's filled with unsavory folks.
Okay.
But as you turn the corner, you notice up near the castle walls, the base seems like a milling multiple. Just keep your heads low. Go south. Do not engage.
These are part of the mob you spoke of?
A small fraction. If we are to separate, two of us will accompany. Again, it is not your job to fight. To injure.
Very well.
Attempt anything. Front units will hold them off with the shields. To make an escape. We already have multiple escape routes planned. Do not fall behind. And as you guys start getting chanting things about how the Barbarish are savage.
Mavakri will kind of... I feel like she's walking ahead of Percy.
No,
And then, like...
you would be able
okay,
to.
so there.
Percy and you
Okay.
would be about neck and neck.
Okay.
Behind you.
So- Well, that works out either way. Because she's gonna kind of tap on Percy's shoulder to get him to kind of, like, lean down a little bit. And whisper to him, like, it might be best if you put her down. At least
Why?
until you get past them. So they can't see her. Unfortunately, with your height, kind of draws attention as to who she is.
Then,
That.
Mavakri, you should hold her.
Okay. I can do that. Are you okay with that, Tyn?
At this point, Tyn has turned and is looking at the mob. Fortunately, due to the mask, you cannot see her reaction. I will say this, Kelin, you've probably casted it 2 more times at the very least.
I'll mark that off then.
She almost... Percy, you recognize this kind of position. The one night you and her had a conversation.
Tyn, if Mavakri takes you, that'll free me up to use my staff, which will help us escape without hurting anyone.
Rehearsal.
We're not going to let anything happen to you.
And it's at this point you hear the snaking of swords, drawing of arrows. sure if she heard you.
Percy, if we need to do this, we need to do it soon, before they notice the shift.
Alright, come on, let's go. And he'll lean down to hand off Tyn.
And then Mavakri will carefully take her.
Mavakri, the minute she hits your arms, shaking. You can feel sweat. And immediately, unintentionally, her claws on her goblinoid hands start, scratch, like, gripping onto your outfit for dear life.
I feel like she'll kind of have her like pulled close to where she's probably like her head's level with like her ear and just kind of whispering to her, and she's gonna like just quietly to where she's only heard by Tyn, start talking about the cooking process of the rations that the monastery uses as kind of to offer a distraction of sorts.
Okay. Go ahead and make. Why don't you just make me a flat charisma check?
Okay. It's at 11.
Unfortunately, you're unsure if it works. As you guys are drawing closer, you can hear the mic get a little louder. And it's not before long. You guys are getting closer. You can feel ever so often what feels like water.
She'll probably take like a firmer hold of Tyn, both kind of as a comfort, but also just kind of a protectiveness of like, if we need to bolt, I'm gonna make sure she's secure.
And by the time you guys are getting closer, here, things like kill the barber, slaughter their children, can't breed, burn their camps. Heinous things. Heinous things where it was said about them, it'd be wrong. And if any of you start to even show a sign of you might want to yell back, the female guard will again put a hand on your shoulder and say no. That guard will kind of get closer. Step aside or face the wrath of the royal guard of the Round Table. We will not ask twice. And almost droned out. Mavakri, make me a dexterity saving throw. I'm going to say with disadvantage because you are holding something.
That's a 10.
As you're standing there, you see a liquor bottle come out of nowhere. Smash against the side of your head.
Would I not be able to use...
No, your hands are preoccupied. Do you let go of Tyn? Do you use the deflect missiles? Requires your hands.
It only require one hand. Because it says you have at least one hand free.
You currently don't. That you're holding onto her tight, preparing to bolt. The rest of you also make me dexterity saving throws. Because Tyn is being carried, she takes yours.
23.
18.
Those of you who roll a 12 or less will be taking 4 bludgeoning damage as bottles, fruit, other such assorted items collide. As a matter of fact, as one collides with Mavakri, another one follows up closely as Tyn almost looks up to see if she's okay. You watch a bottle crash across the side of her face.
Would it not be deflected by Mavakri's arm?
No.
Okay.
She's looking up. She'd be looking up out of your hand.
Alright, I just know because it's still there, so.
Good throw.
Well.
And it meets right with the side of her face. Start to hear people saying things. Things like, that's an illusion. Who is the child? And at this point, Mavakri and Percy, you feel a hand start steering you on the side. Kelin, you feel another hand kind of grab you by the arm. This one's Estell, who grabs you. And you just kind of hear under her breath, Kelin, she's real close. Move now.
Gives her like a slight nod and just follows her.
As you guys start stepping off to the side, start to hear the pounding of rocks on the pavement. As this one lady, having you guys kind of crouch down, leads you into an alley with house. Through here. Come on. And pulls up a cellar door.
And we'll follow.
Kind of waits for you guys to step through. And closes it and latches it behind. Is your mic tasty?
I don't know. Copper.
And you notice there's an arcane rune that starts to glow on the bottom of the cellar door.
Are we moving too fast for me to try to decipher that arcane rune,
Make
or
me an
are we...
Arcana check.
Okay. Natural 20.
Nice.
You are currently looking at a glyph. And you see emblazoned in different parts of the arcane runes used to inscribe this glyph are a lot of mentions of psychic.
Okay.
Let's go.
But you guys start making your way through the A tunnel underneath the house by the guard. At this point, the illusion falls off. You notice that there's a couple of small shards of glass in her cheek. And you can see she's white-knuckled her hands together so she doesn't touch her face.
All right. Hold on just a moment. And Percy will stop and try to pick the shards out before casting Cure Wounds.
Go ahead and make a dexterity check just to see how painlessly you get these out.
Oh, that's a 9.
They're... As soon as you go to start pulling them out, you realize they're a lot longer than they look.
E.
Kind of winces a couple times, but get them out.
Mhm.
And the female guard kind of turns and goes, "Now look, far more adorable than your dream." And suddenly this panicked look comes across her face, and she basically jumps from your arms, ready to bolt.
Tyn, it's okay. She's here to protect you, to get you to Merlin.
Yes, we're not on the street anymore, so we don't have to hold the illusion. You're allowed to touch your face now, though I wouldn't advise it with the wounds.
I cast Cure Wounds, remember?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry.
And to your surprise, you watch as Estell approaches from behind. Crouches down onto one knee, puts a hand on her shoulder, and goes, "In. A deep breath. Even if this guard was here to kill you, I would make sure she dropped dead first for disobeying Merlin's orders. You're safe." And the female guard you hear her laugh a little nervously as she says that. "I'm not here to kill you, trust me. Would not want an archery off against Estell Faenalla. That's a death sentence."
It
I
wouldn't
choose
be-
life.
Wouldn't be much of a contest if you're not moving.
I get the point. Come on. You notice now her anxiety peaks a little bit. Almost as if now she's worried about getting backstabbed. Before you know it, the tunnel ends, and she points to a ladder. "Go on up. I'm going to stay down here to make sure." As she says that, you hear this from behind you. Followed by silence. "Go. Make sure nobody comes through."
Can I leave my owl on around this place in order to observe what's going on from below?
You can leave it there and try it later. See if it works.
Okay.
You guys climb on out. Castle has been cleared out. You notice that there's one person here. Very tall gentleman. About 6'8", 6'9". Pure muscle. Heavy plate armor and a giant hammer rested on his shoulder. Long, graying white hair kind of flowing down the back. Big white beard. Ah! You made it! Come on! This way. How was your travels?
Well, mildly uncomfortable for poor Tyn here.
Tyn is now hiding behind either Percy or Kelin because they're the biggest things to hide behind at this point. As you guys are big, as in tall, this guy is tall and muscle.
So, if we were to look, like, what are we kind of looking at here in terms of, like...
Very big guy.
Okay.
And
He
Man,
does
built
his
like a
morning
Mack
push-up
truck.
routine
he's
daily.
got a scar across his eye. Looks like it blinded him in a battle.
Is he human?
He's human.
He does his morning push-up routine daily,
Just
and you can
built
see
like a brick house.
Oh yeah, definitely built like a brick house. And this particular night is known to be boisterous, loud, and enjoys having fun.
Another.
Can't help myself. Great, great place for him too. Well, both Merlin and Arthur are waiting for you in the room of the round table.
Very well. Thank you.
Of course. Oh, you don't think you're going alone, do you? No. I'm going with. I wish to see how this unfolds, and who will be your shield if someone breaks in? Surely not Arthur. He's too puny. Surely not Merlin. He's even punier.
Well, they both pale in comparison to you, but I'm sure they have their own strengths.
I'm sure they do. Just as you probably do as well. Pat, pat, pat.
My spine.
I suddenly developed scoliosis.
Why the ground tilting?
Short walk, and you guys wind up at the round table throne room, which may drop yourselves at the bottom. The map inside the doors. I don't have a token for this night yet.
Inside the door?
Inside the door. And I will also say that I have not come up with a name that will not get me in trouble yet. No, Kelin. By the
No.
door.
He just
You mean I
thought.
can't walk away
No.
from the door? Oh.
You're here on a mission. You
So?
don't get
Excuse
to
me,
go
where's our
hide.
child?
I'm working on it.
What do you mean I don't get to hide?
No.
Not
Unless-
even if I try to roll stealth?
No. You sense there's magic in this room that tells somebody where people are in this room at all times.
How convenient for plot purposes.
Yes, sir!
Convenient.
This is the throne room! What would you expect from the High Wizard?
That feels almost like an insult on his skills.
The ability to let Kelin be invisible?
And as you enter with Tyn, Estell was also the one who said they were going to stay behind. So it's Estell and the guard in that tunnel.
Oh boy.
Speaking of, if I look back at my familiar,
There's a lot of dust. I brought them as you commanded, my king. The two tall, scaly ones. The short monk thing. And the wee little goblin.
Long thing.
I don't know. What else would you call you? And Arthur will kind of glance up. You must be the goblin that Kelin wrote about. Kind of turned to one of the servants. Please go fetch some proper clothes for the young lady. This is unbecoming of someone who is willing to help us. Right away, my lord. And hurry off. Also, you guys noticed that this time Merlin has his familiar with him. Small pseudo-dragon kind of curled up at the top of his chair. Much like a cat that I have.
mm.
It is good to see all of you again. I am glad you are safe. Are you all okay?
We're well. Thank you for asking.
I hope the people did not cause you too much trouble.
Mavakri and Tyn were hit with a bottle.
I am...
Maybe has like a small cut or something from it, but nothing evasive.
Guys, watch as King Arthur stands. Walks around the table. As he starts getting closer, Tyn just starts to stiffen like a board. You know, like from the Petrificus Totalis from Harry Potter. Yeah, she starts to turn into a board going, oh.
Mavakri will put a comforting hand on her back.
And he'll walk up, kneels down in front of her, and bows his head. The servant of all the people of this land, you have my sincerest apologies. And he will reach out, touches your hand, Mavakri,
Why are you grabbing my hand?
and heals you for 5 HP.
Because
Oh.
Tyn's already been healed.
And suddenly, as soon as he gets within 10 feet of Tyn, you watch her calm immediately as she falls under this aura.
Don't pass out, buddy.
Who?
Well, it says as long as he's conscious. So it's like, don't pass out, buddy.
Oh.
Whatever you do,
Deep.
I know your work is long and hard.
Then
Don't
you
fall asleep.
goes to cast sleep. No. From behind him.
I think
Anyway, back on track.
denied.
If you three wouldn't mind. I think Merlin has some questions for Tyn. I would like to catch up with the three of you, though. So please.
Tyn, are you comfortable with that?
If you'd like one of us to stay, we can.
Fine. I'll give him my protein injections.
That'll warm his heart.
I will say your cooking will work in your favor.
This Merlin will kind of stand up. You guys watches this pseudo dragon flicks itself off of the chair, spreads its wings temporarily before landing on his shoulder and curling up around his neck. The small spark coming out of its nose.
Oh, I just now noticed the token for the dragon too.
Of course, Miss Tyn, if you would like to have company, I am not adverse to it, but most people like a private audience when speaking of distressing things. Tyn's just kind of like looking around like, when did I become the center of attention? She'll kind of very gingerly kind of walk over to Merlin. Merlin will meet eyes with each of you. No one harm her. Have my...
All right. Thank you.
Mavakri will just kind of nod her head.
Aha!
Like,
No one definitely will harm her. I'll go with, and stand guard outside his door. If they think that they're gonna do anything, they'll meet my hammer.
Sounds like a good plan, big guy.
Gives you another big pat on the back before.
The scoliosis has been fixed.
but I'm somehow shorter.
But I've lost 3 inches.
He lost 1 notch of his spine as it crashed back down.
Oh,
Just 3 vertebrae merged into one.
oh, my back hurts just thinking about that.
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
Sorry.
Luckily, it's just my muscles that hurt right now, so.
Same.
But Tyn will kind of look at you guys. And as she's passing, you. Oh, Miss Tyn, I need you. Miss Tyn, this wasn't a request. That sounded terrible.
You leave our 10 alone.
Percy,
Yes.
go ahead and make a perception check.
18.
Obviously she's trying to be slight about it, but she definitely puts 3 or 4 objects in your pocket before she's taken out of the room. And they will leave. Please. There's a sofa at the back of the room. You may take a seat.
Thank you.
Given that we're standing in front of Mavakri, should I also make a perception check to see? Okay. I figured I'd ask since the position of everybody.
Yeah, Kelin, he's gonna cram all of you guys onto one sofa.
Oh, poor Kelin. Whatever will he do?
You know, if Mavakri moves fast enough, there'll only be one spot to sit. Oh, you two are no...
Well, I'm just moving over here. Hold the damn phone.
I sit underneath the table.
No, you don't.
No.
You would know that's disrespectful.
Alright.
I can imagine.
Yep.
Probably
Just
with his
hold
tail
my
curled
book,
around
just
his
like-
midsection.
I just have my comfort book on me, just like,
This is really close.
I don't like this.
Mavakri shoulders touching your right shoulder. Percy's shoulders touching your left shoulder.
Percy will give him a little
She's
space.
small enough, so like she could just scooch over a little bit, and there's space.
The problem is that Percy's a little bit bigger, so
Yeah.
you hit the point where
There's only so much you
Honestly.
can do.
Honestly, Mavakri should be the one in the fucking center, because she'd fit. Details. What did you find? At
Actually-
the site of the tavern. Or the caravan.
believe
We
we
didn't-
did.
We didn't make it that far.
I thought you said you completed it.
We got our answer a lot sooner than we prepared.
It's a dragon.
Actually, I can do a silent image here because I have one more spell slot left, and so I can replay the events that I saw using it, if you guys are okay with me doing.
Yeah.
That's
And you would be the better option because you did go back to the camp.
Mm-hmm.
You guys see everything Ellen saw. The burning wreck. The mound of burnt corpses.
Oh.
Treasure.
Oh, Kelin.
You notice this almost pit that must have been covered by mud, branches, grass, and leaves. A dark spot heading down. I am not a scratching post. Heading down into the deep hole. Any housing? A wide assortment of bones. Some of them in size. Some of them much smaller.
Also, I do play the part where we saw the giant bright light as the entire town was burned as well.
When you get the chance, you'll have to show me. Oh, it's not a child, is she?
No.
Or
She
No,
had-
she's actually a full-grown adult.
She was a mother. The
Was-
the dragon that we found had threatened them.
I
Told them.
received the note.
Yeah. Well, part of how the dragon did this was where they had their children underground. The dragon, well, it didn't take them.
You guys see the dragon. Holy crap, Stumblr.
What? Oh,
Don't want to hear.
Hopper, why? I love you, but why?
Motorboat in the background.
Actually, something I can do with the silent image is I can give like the kind of like the force that we felt as the dragon kind of took off into the night, because I was looking through my owl's eyes as it was, so I had the dark vision kind of awareness there. So
Mavakri was the only one I think left standing in that situation.
yes,
And she did look up, so
And last I checked, I described it as just this black streak.
Yeah.
An image you couldn't really make out, but it was huge.
Hmm.
Well, gargantuan is a more proper term.
Yup.
No, actually, no. No. It was huge. It was huge. Sorry. Gotta keep my facts straight here.
Unfortunately, it was too dark to tell. Given the time of night, I could say it was black.
So was it a
But-
black dragon?
Tonight we couldn't tell.
As far as we can assume, yes.
Did you see any acid marking at the camp? I didn't see any, but maybe I missed it. Never heard of a black dragon being able to, use the radiant flames that I saw there.
What kind of dragon would?
Don't. Dragons aren't connected to the celestial. They're primordial for. Meaning they focus more on the elemental types. Fire. Ice. Acids. Poison. Lightning.
It would seem
What
this
if
specific dragon begs to differ.
What if it could use multiple? I mean, hypothetically, you could generate an effect using that like you could in magic. If something could use two elements at once to create a new one.
I mean, that might explain the crushing force.
It was strange. There was just a square. Multiple squares of smashed markings around. Makes sense. And what of the other goblins? People, barbarish items you may have found? Traces?
Tyn's group attempted to steal Kelin's spellbook that night. And
I assume they don't.
no.
There was attempts made to defuse the situation, but I believe due to the circumstances, we weren't
It's-
successful.
Alright. Do not push blame on you. You didn't do what was outside. Cannot blame you. I know if Merlin lost his spellbook, he would probably go to the Hells and back, killing all who got in his way to get it back.
Yeah. Well, Tyn was also burned quite badly. We healed her. We talked to her.
Just talked?
She's the one that told me what the dragon did to the children.
Didn't follow you.
Not that we saw.
As soon as he says that, I want you all to make me wisdom saving.
Ooh. 22.
20.
Come on, Mavakri. Come on, Mavakri, you can do it.
I said saving throw
Mhm.
Yes.
for wisdom. Okay.
Ooh.
Fuck you, worthless advantage. I hate it here.
Percy, you're the only one to save.
Oh shit.
Well, well, well. What a beautiful little king. You guys hear that in your heads. Maybe I'll go around. Seems there's quite a bit of unrest.
Does Percy hear this too? Of course not.
And it's at that exact moment you guys suddenly hear screaming coming down out the window. Sound rushing. And that is where
Oh.
Just out of
Oh,
curiosity,
shit.
how does Kree take the fact that somebody else has invaded Mavakri's mental space?
you temporarily feel like you have no connection
Oh.
to them.
That's not good. That should not be a thing.
Are you panicking right now?
Anyway,
Well,
we will pick up in 2 weeks. I know, it's the worst, especially when we have this kind of cliffhanger. Hey, don't deal with any more Karens at the end of work anymore. The next session might be stressful.
Listen, you tell them that. Tell them that. We're not even gonna get into that. We're just gonna end right here.
All right,
Everybody,
we're gonna
smile
gloss
wave,
over.
boys. Smile wave.
Thank you guys so much for dropping by. Like I said, just a quick reminder, there's not going to be a session tomorrow. As everybody at the beginning felt the need to, wish me happy birthday and all that stuff. I will be doing things and I will be busy tomorrow. But thank you guys all so very much for dropping by. And we hope to see you guys in 2 weeks.
Don't forget, this was sponsored by the Riz.
Yeah, the dragon was rizzing up the freaking goblin, that's for